The financial statements of Lonely Money Limited for the year 314 are under preparation. While reviewing the treatment of earlier transactions entered during the year, it was noted at the accountant that LL has simply recorded the right of use and corresponding lease liability relating to plant at the present value of annual rental of Rs. 48 million discounted at the market interest rate of 16%. He has simply recorded the lease by taking the present value of the rentals of Rs. 48 million, by taking the present value of the rentals of Rs. 48 million.
Okay. So what has he done, my dear? What has he taken for the rentals of Rs. 48 million? Can you see this? Now it is clearly visible that this raised to power by. Tell him to click the picture in the solution and make it -3 and then upload it again. Now the solution has been corrected, so there were 4 rentals, the first 48 and the remaining 48,155.8. He has made the schedule accordingly. Done 48, he made the schedule in this regard with respect to 16%. How many people had made this? Raise your hands. Well done. Let's move ahead. He has made a mistake, right? What has he done? He has made a mistake. The subordinate entries for depreciation and interest have also been made on these amounts, and on top of these amounts, he has made entries for depreciation and interest. So my dear, you people must have done it in the same way that our 155.8 is coming out. What is the mistake? 48 was discounted in what respect? In terms of 16%, so 155.8. This question will be your homework for today as well. This question came in the latest trend in CAF. Okay, what did we do now? We tried wrong entries. RU debit, lease liability credit. I will tell you the second entry now. Lease liability debit, bank credit. And interest as per that wrong table, and depreciation also 155.8 add by 4. How many people did the same thing? 100%. Well done, I really appreciate. Let's move ahead. Now what was the actual lease? Before reading that the IDC has been expended out. And how much was the IDC? 8 million. IDC should have been expended out, or should it have become an asset? And where did he put it? Expense. Put it in expense. Done. The rest was very easy. There was nothing ahead. The rest was the original data. The lease is non-cancelable. Rent has to be paid in advance. The IDC is 8 million. You can buy the asset by paying 50 million on the lease end, and it is certain that I will buy the asset. And the market interest rate is 16. But in reality the interest rate is 11%. So now we had to discount one more thing. We had to discount 50 million. We had to discount one more figure. Which figure had to be done, my dear? 50 million. The rest of the rate also had to be changed to 11% instead of 16%.
So now you had to do the entire working again. The
entire working had to be done again. How? 48 using 11% rate and 50 also using 11% rate. The answer had to be 198.2.
Now on what basis the monetization schedule was to be made? On the
basis of 198.2. And what were the original entries made? Please tell me. Original entries: RU debit, lease liability. Entry for IDC RU debit.
First entry for rental pay lease liability debit interest payable depreciation. Debit accumulated depreciation credit because now the ownership is to be transferred due to purchase option. Hence this deduction should have been made after how many years?
7 years. Done after 7 years.
Now all the people should tell me the rectifying entries. At what time ROU and LL should have been recorded? Well, now those who did not understand all this, they should take some interest now. Now take some interest. This is a childish thing. From what time should this have been recorded? From what time did it happen?
15.
5. So from how much and do it?
Raj debit LL credit. Rectifying entries YAR. Date is not to be written. If date year is to be written for this, then write it. Date is not to be written with rectifying entries. Next. Where should IDC have gone?
In RU. Where did it go? What should I do in expense? Put it in RU and remove it from expense.
Lease liability bank credit. First rental lease liability bank credit. There is no need to rectify this entry. Interest 166 is correct and 17 is wrong. Then, give the rest in reverse. Interest payable debit interest expense credit. In this way, the deficiency should also be given in reverse. How many people's is it is correct? They should give me good news. First, you have studied FAR2 for the first time. Well done. One student's is correct, and someone's is correct. Absolutely 100% this one is well done. You have also studied FAR2 for the first time. Well done. And someone's is completely correct in hybrid. Someone's is completely correct in hybrid.
Interest is just over. No Baba, no, just no, not completely or not. No, because of rounding. Bring the test of the whole brother. You are 3? Okay, 3 are there? And is there a 4th one okay? Well, these 3, for example, if they are studying in the evening by going to KIPS, then you should also find out. Then go and take some tuition. Now the only possibility is that someone is taking classes in KIPS in the evening. I don't. No, now they must be studying somewhere in the evening, so they will get more practice, right? Now I don't know, they have done these questions by going through this college with this method, right? So why did you people do it? Why didn't the others do it? Well, let's start telling the mistakes. What mistakes did you make? Well, those people who did not give the test should go to sleep. We are not talking to them. You people should start telling the mistakes that were made. Yes, what do you mean by discounting was not done correctly? How do I tell you, the present value was not calculated correctly? And what mistake did I make? Brother, please be ashamed and keep your eyes down. Those who did not give the test are not allowed to look up. They had treated the IDC wrongly. And yes, tell me the truth. This should have been a question.
Yes, sir. Your level is such that this should have been a question. Yes, sir. Okay, brother, this will take 5 to 7 minutes. Let me take a picture of this, friend. This was an easy question. Actually, he had given you the rent for all the years. Whose rent had he given for? All the years together? So, in 3 years, how many times were there to be 2 monthly rent?
How many times in a year, 2 months, rent? So,
in 3 years, how many people had divided 720 by 18 and calculated the rent? This was what I had to do. This was what I had to do. This is the question of the latest AMS is 41. I had to discuss this with you. Everyone will become a little attentive for this. Galtier Limited is engaged in agricultural activities including cultivation of fruit orchards, planting fruit plants, and the growth of seasonal crops. And the crops that are seasonal, sometimes potato crop is planted, sometimes something else. AGL follows IFRS in preparing its financial statements. The following transactions and events. By the way, I was thinking that 101 students will do it completely right. But I am sorry that 3 students have done it right. GL, I am sorry that they did it right. I was happy. GL follows IFRS in preparing financial statements. The following transactions and events aka during the year end the 31st of December 204 pass general entry for the year end the 31st of December 2024. Take out the G register and write it. Test number 3, question 4. Test number 3, question 4. During the year, GL planted wheat crops. What did you plant? Wheat crops, what do you think you will do? Will this tree remain planted for many years or will it get cultivated in just 2 to 4 months after planting? It will get cultivated in 2 to 4 months after planting. Wheat crops were planted on over 100 hectares of farmland. 8 million was spent on cultivation, sowing seeds, preparing the land, digging the land. Seeds were bought, fertilizers were bought, manures were bought, irrigation and labor etc. were spent. Now tell me, when the wheat crops have been planted, are the planted wheat crops alive or dead? What should we call this? Tell us quickly about the planted wheat crops. What should we call the planted wheat crops? Were they
bought or received for free?
Seeds must have been bought and expenses must have been incurred on fertilizer, land preparation, etc. Now these first-time entries are being made. Let us see how they will be. Biological acid wheat means planted wheat. How much is biological acid debit and cash credit? 8 million. We can do it in these 1,000, right? 8 million. Any question? Have you bought biological acid or have you done something else? Have you bought it? Have you bought it? It is biological. Have you bought it? How have you bought it? Have you bought seeds? And then have you brought it here by paying money to other people? Biological acid debit cash credit. This is a completely new concept. So please understand it carefully. We were till animals. Now we have gone to plants. Harvesting was done in October. What is to be harvested in October? D-patch has been removed. So harvesting has been done, yielding a total of 3 lakh kilos of wheat, and that at a point of harvest the fair value was 100 per kilogram. Nothing else was to be done. All the students had to make these entries correct. Whether they made the first entry or not, I did not. Everyone should have made the second entry correct. In the attempt in which this paper has come, the children have made a blunder. They did not understand the first entry. They did not do the next one. All the subsequent entries are children's entries. Apart from the first entry, all the entries are easy. We have done all the entries one by one in the class. Yours should have been absolutely correct. In this question, the children are told that if something new comes up, you can get 70 to 80% marks. If you put your hand on the question, if you do not put your hand, then you will not get the marks that you are supposed to get. How many people have been a little lazy and did not put their hand at all after seeing so much information? Raise your hand. Okay, you put your hand on the question. Tell me, what entry did you make on the harvest?
Tell me the debit of agricultural produce and credit of P&L.
My dear, 3 lakh kilos of Jarab. 100. Tell me quickly.
30 million is coming, but I am doing it in Rs. So. What should I do?
3,000. Friend, by the way, I have a suggestion that do not take all of it in P&L. Credit the biological asset from the books because it has been deducted. Now the biological asset that has been debited, if you have not credited it, it is a new concept, but what should I say now? Understand it. The biological asset will remain in the books. Otherwise the biological asset is not meant to remain there, because what has happened to the crop? Loss. It has been wasted. This is not a tree type thing that one leaves the tree and goes away and takes away the mangoes. This would have taken away the entire crop. So now in my opinion it should be done like this. So first credit the biological asset. Understand the rest like this. If you spend 8,000 and get a crop of 300, then how happy are you? 22,000. 22,000 rest. I know that these things are recorded on fair value minus cost to sale. But he had not given the cost to sale. Did anyone make such entries? In some class you made these entries directly. Acha mashallah. Directly only, and did anyone make any entries like this? Let's move ahead. Okay, how many people debited 30,000 and got marks? Raise your hands. And how many people did not enter at all for this? How many people did not give the test? Okay, now no one raised their hands for not giving the test, and no one raised their hands for not making an entry either. Who are these people? From which class? Okay, they do not want to do business. Okay, let's get one more entry done here. Then I have to ask him to sell it further. Now all that work is easy. We have made entries for selling milk. Those entries are ahead. Entry is ahead. What should we name wheat next? Agricultural produce. It will be that much, right? Now the inventory is lying from 300. Let's see what to do with it now. Like once we made cheese from milk, so it is possible that we can make something from this wheat. But we have not made anything. We have sold it as it is. For how much have we sold it? 125. Well, look carefully, my dear. Look at everything again. Be attentive. What have I planted? Wheat crop over. 100 hectares of wheat.
How much cash outflow was there?
8 million. So, if the seeds were planted, they are alive because they are planted in the soil, then the wheat is biologically planted. Biological acid and cash. Credit 3 lakh kilogram. If milk was produced and 100 rupees per kilogram of milk was produced, then also we would have made an entry as agriculture produce debit 30 million because 3 lakh 100 will become 30 million. And where would we have immediately shifted it? The next entry in the inventory is easy. Tell me what it is. By
the 31st of December. Now, there is no need to look at the above. 2 lines are enough. By the 31st of December 24 gigaliters sold 72% of wheat and an average price of 12.5 bull.
Cash debit sale credit how much wheat was sold?
72%. Just grab a calculator. How much wheat was costed? How much was harvested? 3 lakh kilogram. Okay, someone should subtract 3 lakh kilos by 72%. What did 16,000 kilos? 16,000 kilos, 216,000 kilos of wheat do? 4.
How much rupees did you sell it? Yes. Tell me the answer.
7,000. Does anyone remember that we used to make some entries together? Cash, cost of
sales, debit, inventory, credit. Yes, ask, with which entry will you make? Tell me all the amounts. The
amount with which the inventory was debited will be
credited with the same amount. At what is the inventory lying? At 30 million. How much percent of 30 million is gone?
72%. Let me tell you one more way. Another way could have been this, you could have done the same. 216,000 got sold and it was lying at 100. Check everything again. If I subtract 216,000 by 125, what will I get? Sale price. And if I subtract 216,000 by 100, what will I get? Cost. Or another way, what is the total cost of full inventory?
30 million zarb. 7. The same answer is coming on both sides, right? Let's see. How much? 21.
600. Well, the rest of the wheat is still lying there. 72%, 82922028%, 28%. The wheat is still lying there and it has become expensive and has become 100 at the year end of 120. By the way, the record at 100 rupees has also become 120 now. What to do?
What to do? Make a reconciliation.
Those brothers who are saying that its reconciliation should be done and on top of it, it should be passed through fair value gain loss, they have to tell my side, brother, there are 2 things in the world. One is the animal and the other is its milk. The animal has to be passed through the calculation of fair value gain at the year end. If its milk is left lying, then IS2 will be applied on it at the shear end pay and IS2 only tells to record NRV loss. Fair value does not tell us to record gas. So this wheat lying with me, is it alive or has it been cut? If it has been cut, where is it lying? In inventory. In my dear, tell me how much inventory out of the inventory of 3,000 was sold. For the rest of the inventory, should we record fair value gain at the lower end or should we keep it lying at cost? Yes, if its fair value was not 120, but 99, then in the light of IS2, we would have brought it from 100 to 99 and recorded NRV loss. That is a different matter. So for now, I am writing its no general entry here. No general entry for 28% wheat because which standard is being applied on it?
Is 2. I will also put this question in today's homework. Question 4 as well. Question 1 of the test and question 4 as well. How many people will do question 1 now willingly? Make 2 motivation schedules. Well, no, you have to read the question yourself and try it. It is possible to match the figures, which are mine and your profit, I have. Asked for a general entry. I am not going to take out the rate profit on 22 and 21. That's it. Okay, done. Let's see the next entry, brother. Your next entry should be correct. Now, brother, you can cry, scream, shout however you want. This entry and this entry, this entry, this entry, all of these should have been correct. There was no scope for this. All these were just like milk entries. Okay. Get today's lecture completely uploaded on YouTube. Okay, after doing this, if you want to attend the discussion again, then we will attend the discussion. On JKM July 204 gigaliters received a government grant of 10 million to promote a farming in a particular location. He said entry cash debit deferred grant income credit. By how much? If you do it for Rs, 10,000, then Rs, 10,000 grant requires GL to repay the entire grant. If GL forms at a location for
less than 3 years, then the entire grant will have to be returned. Tell me what to do. Now the entire grant will have to be returned, right? What should I do then? If it was written that retain the grant for the number of months you have done the farming. Tell me quickly. Then you should take it in P&L by doing 6/12. 10/3 asterisk 6. What has he written now? The entire grant will be returned. Now tell me, if the entire grant is returned, should we bring it partially into income or should we wait for the completion of 3 years? If even a little of 3 years is taken into income, it will be strange. Why? When do you see the condition getting fulfilled? Year, not at the end of 6 months, but at the end of 3rd year. So when it is completed. I am not able to understand whether to take it partially. So many people had taken a little bit in income partially. Entire colors were written. All the grants have to be returned. Done. So even if I take a little bit, there is no benefit of that. I have to return it. How many years should I wait for this uncertainty to be removed? 3 years.
3 years. It should come back to the least. Yes. Earlier. I had rounded up the interest of 16. It does not make any difference. Yes. Anyway, no issue. No issue. Okay. Okay, brother, listen to brother's issue. Brother's issue is very genuine. He says that I had rounded this interest to 17,166 and this one too was rounded to 17. So my rectifying entries were almost empty. Now what should I answer to them? It is possible that the examiner may say after seeing the honor that he has done this because he must have shown everything by making schedules etc. But let's move ahead. I had given the same comment to ICAP also. ICAP had just asked for comments and I had said that I think you have kept the numbers a little low. Let's move ahead, this is my opinion too. Okay, you read page number 514848. Question. Entity has a leased office equipment for
Five years. It has taken office equipment for 5 years. The total value of the equipment when new is Rs. 5,000, so the entity has determined which asset it is. So we have chosen what we will do. We will apply the low-value asset exemption. Done. Lease payments are payable as follows. Year 1, Year 2 and 3 in year for less benefit and other leases on straight-line basis. On a straight-line basis, this will give benefit, so you guys don't have to note anything, just leave it, don't solve it. Is it a question of arrears or advance?
where is it written? Okay. Now tell the first year's work.
0. Second and third year? Fourth and fifth year done. So all these were accumulated.
6,500 by code done. Let's go. Tell the entry of the first year. How much was spent? And what was the expenditure? You say. For rent payable and prepaid rent, I am using the word rent payable. I don't know if it is for 2-3 years in the session, check this. Try this question yourself once. Entries will be like this, now tell whether it is prepaid or payable. There was an expenditure of 1,300 on anything. Then what did 1,300 become? Payable, payable, so 1,300 should go as payable in the balance sheet. So it is a good practice question. Do this. A note of it is already made. By the way, no note is made for this. If a note has to be made, it is very easy. The note will be just like the P&L. Maturity analysis is not made for low-value asset. Only the first year's expense is 1,300. The second year's expense is also 1,300. This is the kind of note that is made for this if one ever has to make it. Let's start studying its theory. Page 45. Explain the meaning of the first line. A lessee may choose not to apply the requirement to record RU and LL. If the lessee wishes, he may not record RU and LL. When it is a short-term lease or recognition in case of it is called as a simple approach. What are short-term leases? A lease that at the commencement date has a lease term of 12 months or less. A lease that is of 12 months or less will be called as these 12 months. What do you have to do? You have to enter the extension and check it. You have to enter the extension and check it. Acha, our lease is number 1. Three-month with extension of 5-month. Tell me which lease is this? Short-term lease. Our lease number 2 is 7-month with extension of 4-month. With extension of 6-month. Not in. Extension, do you want to check it or do you want to check it without putting the extension? Note it down. Now note down these examples in the register, of course. Keep doing it clearly and give a heading at the top. Short-term leases are different from low value. When we will do it beautifully, you have to note down all the concepts of this page. Okay, a lease that contains a purchase option is not a short-term lease. Even it is for a 12-month or less, at least 3 or for 9 months with purchase option, not an extension. Purchase is an extension, right? Pay the rent for 6 months, make the purchase only, tell me, give it. Short-term lease.
No why, in which what is there, it is never a.
Short-term is done. Okay, tell me the meaning of the next line. Wake up the people around you, let them wake up. Read point 2 and tell the meaning by raising your hand. There is a class of cars, computers. You leased a car for 1 month. This is not low value but it is short term. You took it on a simple approach. You decided that it is a simple approach. But you bought a computer. Computer will be low value. Consider it high value. For example, there is a machine. Well, you took machine 1 for 4 months. But you did not apply a simple approach to it. You recorded ROULL. What should you do when you buy the next car?
Yes. Yes, because you have chosen a simple approach for this class. Now do not do this that you record it on ROU and LL and take machine 2 for 9 months, then put it on a simple approach. This will create a mess. Is this right or wrong? The diagram that I have made now, do not take its picture because this is wrong. Because only one methodology should be used for one class of asset. Now what solution should be found for this? Which approach should be used for this also, and there is no such strictness in the standard that if this approach is used for any asset then it should be used for all. There is no such strictness. What is the strictness? If there is a simple approach for one of the vehicles, for all the vehicles. If there is a normal approach for one of the machines, then note the normal approach for all the other machines. It is acceptable. Yes, later you can change your accounting policy. That is a different matter from next year, then you can change the accounting policy. What is the issue, brother? I have to note down all the things of this paper with great interest. Sir, you are a machine of 3 years, the machine is 3 years old, then it has gone out from here, right? That is not an option of simple approach, sir.
Exclamation mark. By the way, you should have asked about the vehicle. It was already running on ROU. Okay. By the way, I regret it. Past paper question 1. So this question 1. Sorry, this was an easy question of the test. CAF FAR2 keeps asking such things in the intro that this mistake has been made and this should have been done, and you guys should have done the rectifying entry. Right, by the way, it would be better for you guys to go and immerse yourself in a handful of water today. Raise your hands. Just a little, just hold a handful of water in your hand, immerse yourself in it. Do the choice right now. Take a drop of water from your bottle and present it to the person next to you. Dip in it. Hurry up. Son, immerse yourself in it. A choice of adopting the simple approach must be made by the class of underlying asset. Lessee would record the lease installments either as an expense on a straight-line basis over the period of lease or many expenses using other systematic basis if that is better. Generally, straight line is the norm. Okay, low value. A low-value asset is an asset which has 2 characteristics. One is low and the other is value. A low-value asset is an asset which has how many characteristics?
2 characteristics. There is a mobile worth Rs. $1,00,000. It is not interlinked with other assets. It has no link with any other asset, it is just that the mobile is a different thing. But there are some things. It is linked with another thing. Like a calculator, it has a cover. Now what is the relationship between these two? There is a link, okay? But with this, if you have a ballpoint, it is not linked with the calculator. Okay, similarly, there is an organization that says I have an assembling machine and a paint machine. Paint machine and assembling machine are interlinked things, and these machines connect to make our thing in a proper way. So I have given this example. Any example can be there. In the paper, it will not judge us whether things are interlinked or not. If they are interlinked, it will tell that they are interlinked. If they are not interlinked, it will tell that they are not interlinked.
If things are interlinked, even if they are low value, they cannot be called low value. Even if they are cheap, they cannot be called low value. Note it down first, I am showing you. The paint machine is worth rupee 000, but I say that if it is interlinked with the assembling machine, then it is not low value, but the mobile is interlinked. So let's note it down, we will do it tomorrow, the concept is fine.
If it is high value, then there is no problem. No, there is no
need for it, it will be high value only.